When looking for web design inspiration, we've all heard of awards, Ninja, Site Inspire. I've used them, you've used them, we've all used them, right? Let's talk about some unique ways that we can use to find web design inspiration. My single most favorite way of finding unique web design inspiration is to look at the end credits of a movie. I'm not talking about the end credits scene, I'm talking about the end credits themselves. Sometimes they're just black and white and it's just text rolling on a screen. But oftentimes in newer movies, they'll actually have some really cool art in these end credits. To give you some examples, I use Spider-Man No Way Home's end credit scene to find some inspiration for my personal website. Some other cool examples are Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and the Wasp. I know all three of those are Marvel, but those are the only ones I can think of right now. Oftentimes it's really cool of taking art in one context and bringing it over to another context. So obviously these are VFX heavy movies and even the end credits are VFX heavy, but oftentimes you can take these art styles and bring them over to a different context and makes it new and fresh and something people haven't seen before. Another place you can find inspiration is a magazine. Now hear me out. I understand magazines aren't crazy new styles that nobody have ever seen before, but again, it's taking these art pieces out of their context and putting it on a website, and it makes it new and fresh and different. So for example, if I get like a car magazine, I don't actually get those, and I see something really cool designed on this car magazine that I've never seen on a website before, you can take that inspiration and bring it into a website and it just makes it new. Now the next one is a newspaper. I know people have done this quite a few times at this point, so maybe it's overdone, but sometimes you can find some cool looks in newspapers that you haven't seen in a while and bring that over to a website. Another thing you can look for is billboard ads or signs on the side of the road. Now, multi-million dollar, if not billion-dollar companies have spent countless marketing dollars creating these billboards and the art that goes on the billboards. So if you see something that catches your attention, take a picture of it and see if you can incorporate that on a finished website. What I like to do is, if you can, go to the building of the place that you're working at and take pictures of the walls, of the floors, of the furniture, of the colors, right? Maybe you see an LED panel on the wall and you really like the gradient that it makes. You can take a picture of that and see if you can convert that over to a gradient on a finished website or the texture that it creates. I think this is a really unique way to match the brand of the company you're working for and also create some really unique styles. Another way you can incorporate this is by seeing the tools that a company uses, right? If you're working for a construction company, maybe they use tools that not a lot of companies in their industry use. So you can create 3D or 2D assets or iconography or graphics that not a lot of those companies in that industry use, and it's going to make their website stick out in a good way. Another thing you can do is you can pay attention to different textures that you see on a daily basis. So I was leaving my house and we have a glass window through our door, and the glass window had the light shining through it, so there's like a light ray, and then there are these caustics on the side of the wall. And I took a picture of it because I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, and now what I can do is I can kind of recreate that style of caustic on a website in the future, and I have that in a library of different graphics of different textures that I can use in the future. Also, one day I dropped my phone, and the phone had kind of like these RGB screens or panels showing on it because it was broken. Well, it was unfortunate that I broke my phone, but it created a really cool graphic that I might be able to use on a future website. So always be looking for these types of things on your day-to-day basis and just take a picture of it if you see something that looks cool. Another thing you can do is you can look at old books. Oftentimes old books and the different eras carry with them different styles. And sometimes it's really cool to take a style of old and bring it back and make it, maybe freshen it up a little bit. And it'll look like something that nobody have ever seen before, but it was actually something that maybe was around in the 50s. So if you have like a How to Build a House book back in the 50s, you can look through it and see if there's any type of art and styles that maybe isn't around anymore or that you could freshen and modernize up. And the last one I'm going to talk about is food and drink packaging. Companies spend countless dollars creating this packaging. They spend a lot of money creating things that pop out, that look pleasing, and that fit with their brand. So whenever you're at Walmart or Target or wherever it is you shop, take pictures of the cans, like of soda cans or chip bags or whatever it is you're shopping for, or if you see something cool, just take a bunch of pictures of it. Now, I understand you're not going to be able to do all this and take all this time for every single project that you work on. So what I recommend, again, I talked about this, create create a library that you can just kind of look to. It's kind of like a swipe file, and you can kind of just reference it whenever you have new projects going on. You can kind of just quickly look through it. Do any of these fit with the brand that I'm working with? No? Okay, then you move on. Or maybe you pull one or two of them out and say, yeah, I think I can incorporate this, and I think it would fit really well with this brand. If you like this video, please let me know. If you did not, you can also let me know that as well. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.